Hello everyone, let's look at today's Leetcode problem 1920, build array from permutations. Before starting this, let us look at motivational quote for today. Your parents are your first teachers. Honor their sacrifices by striving for your dreams. So we always continue to grow with our efforts, but we should also recognize that we have been able to do so many things with the support from our parents. So it is always important to honor our parents and respect them in whatever we do, because they would always uh, sacrifice so many things for our success. Let's look at the problem statement. Given a zero-based permutation nums, build an array answers of the same length where answers of I is equals to nums of I. So this is something that we need to keep in mind, and there is a limit saying that I will always be less than nums of length, and zero based permutation nums is an array of distinct integers from. So the array will have a length of n and length of n, and each value will be array dot length will be in between 0 to array dot length. This is also something that we need to keep in mind. Let us look at the example. So here, if you see, we have been given with nums 0 to 1, 5, 3, 4. So we need to return an output such that uh, nums of for all the elements. So if we consider 0th index, nums of 0 is 0, and again 0 nums of 0 is again 0. So once we go to the ith index, which has nums of I equals to 2, so nums of 2 is equals to 1. So here we get the value 1. Similarly, if we go to the second index here, we need to put the value nums of 1. This nums of 1 would again be 2. And here, in case of nums of 5, we need to check the fifth index. This would be 4 and 5, 3. So this would be the output. Sorry to overflow here, but yeah, this is the output. 0. Let me write it here again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3. So this is the expected output that is there. And the explanation is very self-sufficient. So we can quickly code this up, and let's try submitting the solution. Let's have an answers which we want to return as an output, and let us iterate over each value with the nums array. we need to add in this same formula, that is nums of as given in the problem statement, and we can simply return this answer. Let's see if we can submit this solution. Alright, this solution gets accepted. Uh, so we also have a follow-up question here which says, can you solve it without using an extra space? That is, we are having to use this array which makes space complexity O of n. So let me go back to my drawing board, and so the solution that we have solved has a new input array which is having to take up time complexity is n while space complexity is O of n. So the follow-up question or the optimization of this question is having to ask if we can have a space complexity of n. So let's see how we can solve this. So if we need to have a space complexity of SO of 1, then we somehow need to have the nums array changed to values so we somehow need to have the input values with the nums array which is 21534. This value needs to be changed to the one that we are also looking for an output, where both input and output of each index can be stored in all of the places. So we need to do it in place. Let's see how we can do that. So let us understand the output here. So if we need to write the output here, so output is of each index is nums of I. So for the first index it is 0, so we have nums of 0, while nums of 2, so it goes on. So we somehow need to store both of these values, that is 0 comma nums of 2. So one way that I think we can solve this problem here is this value is again, this is the input and this is the output. So one way that I look at solving this problem is maybe we can have some sort of a large number where, let's say, we have some sort of 1,000 plus the nums of 2, which is nums of 2 is 1. So we can have maybe something like 1,002. So let me replace this solution here. So all I'm trying to say here is we can have this as 0. We can make this input array as values such as 0 plus nums of 0 into 1,000 and 2 plus nums of 2 into 1,000, while the nums of 3 will be nums of 1 into 1,000. and the same goes for the third index, which holds the value 3, 4, 5. So the third index 5, which holds the value nums of 5 and into 1000. So this can go on this way, but so all we are trying to do is we are having to multiply it by a number and to extract the input from this value. Let's say we consider the third index and we have 5 plus nums of 5, which is 4, 4 into 4000. This can give us 4005. So now if we modulo it by the number that we have multiplied, this gives us back the value of 5, which is the input, while if we need the output value that we are expecting, let's say we can divide this by 1000, which would give us 4, which is the expected output. So all we can do here is we can say we convert the nums array to a value something like nums of I plus unknown number and into nums of I. So we can choose this unknown number as maybe the length of the array. And once we have maybe, let's say we can still take this example and do a quick code run or a dry run of what we are trying to solve here. So let's say 0 to 1, 5, 3, 4. So let's say the input is 0, 2, 1, 5, 3, 4. And we can change this to 0 plus 0 into length of this number is 6, and let's consider index 0 into n, which is 6, and we can have 2 plus 2 into 6, while the second index will be 1 plus 1 into 6, and the third index will be 3 into 5. And let me write it here. So the fourth index will be 4 into 6, while the fifth index will be 4 plus 4 into 6, while 0 to 1, and this should be 5. 5. Alright, let me rewrite it. So here 1, 0 into 6, and nums of 2 is 1 into 6, and while 1, the index of 1 here is 2 into 6. Similarly, into 6, and here the index value of 3 will be 5 into 6, and 4 will be 3. Alright, so if we need to get the intermittent array that we are looking for, 0, comma 6 plus 2, 8, 12, 12 plus 1 will be 13, and 6 fours are 24, 29, and this will be 6 5s are 33, and this will be 6 3s are 18 plus 4 will be 22. And from this we can get the output value as this way, where we can consider if we modulate uh, if we want to get the output value, then we, let's say we modulo this by, or divide this by 6, then we get 0. 0 divided by 6 is always 0, in 6 1, here it would be 2, and this would be 4, and here this would be 5, while this would be 3. So looking at the output, we, let's see what our output value was. 0 1 2 4 5 3, 0 1 2 4 5 3. So let's see if we can implement this to our Leetcode solution, and let's submit this. Alright, let me change this solution, and we somehow want to return the same nums array, and we want to change the nums array value to a new value. Let's call it a hash value, and let's say as we saw it, so it should be nums of I plus u into n. To get the output, then we also need to iterate it here, and while the nums of I takes the value. Alright, let's see if we can submit this solution and this solution works. Thank you. let's call n as length of the array, which is nums.length. Alright, this solution works. Thanks for your time. Please like and subscribe if you found this video helpful. Thank you.